Welcome back to Shannonville Motorsport Park and the final round of the Armor Bodies Amateur 600 Sport Bike Final. Jody Christie, the points leader by 44 over Patrick Marks, who is alongside the MPM race. Starting lights on green. Here's the charge into turn number one, side by side going in, and it is Jody Christie, number 14, who will grab the lead. Patrick Marks battling there for second with 898, Martin Grand.
BC fast guy Marcel Ernie, he started on the front row. What an effort in his first start at Shannonville, but what a crummy start with his Kawasaki. Now he's got a lot of work to do against the locals.
Battle up front here, in through the left-hander. Patrick Marks, number 130, in that second place spot. Here comes 898, Martin Grand on the inside, and the two riders just about banged fairings as Grand got the worst of that exchange. It's Jody Christie, 14, the points leader on the back straightaway. Patrick Marks, number 130, who is chasing him as Christie runs it into the right-hander at the end of that back straight.
Classic opening lap mistake. Christie is setting sail. This is his home track. The other guys are mixing it up, doing some crazy stuff, just like they did at Shubenacadie 3 weeks ago, and that's letting Christie get away, and they're not going to beat him for the championship, carving each other up at the hairpin on the first lap.
Jody Christie, just 16 years of age, broke Brett McCormick's 2-year-old record for the class here with a lap at 1:07.493. Nobody thought anybody would touch that record, and Christie, who has had a brilliant season, leading this championship by 44 points, and he's opened up a bit of a gap on Marks.
Moving on to our next lap, lap 5, Christie continues to lead, and there's Marks. He's a motorcycle mechanic in Calgary at the famed Blackfoot Shop. Originally from France, he came over here with the ambition of learning English to become a motorcycle race mechanic. Turns out he's a pretty good racer, Pat.
He's had an outstanding season. He knows he's got to go out here and win this race, and hopes that Christie runs into some kind of a problem. But with that 44-point lead going into today's race, Christie is in the driver's seat. Out of the hairpin, there you see the front-running 3 riders have separated from the rest of the field. And it is still 898 Martin Grand with just the one win this year that came at our opening round at Calabogie. He is not in contention for the championship.
And while we were chatting about Marks, he had several sideways near-miss moments. We know he pushes that GSXR right to the absolute limit. Some questions about maybe he goes with a smooth track setup that would work in Europe, not so good at Shannonville, but nonetheless he is pushing just as hard as he can with that GSXR.
All of these riders on the Pirelli DOT rubber, limited to 118 horsepower, as things now start to tighten up here in the battle for second. Martin Grand with nothing to lose here. He's been on the podium at most of the rounds, right now sitting there in the third place spot.
We can safely say that Marks and Grand have a history. At the last 2 rounds at Shuby, they were all over each other, and it didn't start off very well. That very optimistic move by Grand right here at the hairpin.
They work out of that right-hand hairpin. Oh, a big slide by 130. Patrick Marks. Here comes Grand up alongside, trying to grab that second place spot as they work off the end of the back straightaway. And Marks with a marvelous save. He just about high-sided off of that Suzuki, able to maintain that second place spot. But Grand is all over his rear tire as they work through the chicane.
Marks ran it ultra deep off the end of the back straight. He knew that Grand would be trying for the overtake after the draft. Look at that, Grand looking to move inside out of Allen's, and this is very fierce, but it is not getting them any closer to our runaway leader, Christie.
There's Jody Christie, who has opened up a commanding lead. Great battle here for second between the two Suzuki riders. Marks on the number 130 machine, and then Martin Grand, 898, sitting there in the third place spot.
Here you can see them heading on that little short straight, very high-speed part of the track. Then lots of technical stuff coming up, and you got to watch out for some bumpy sections of this track. Grand, of course, has much more knowledge of this track than Marks does, and you can bet he's thinking about exploiting it once again at the hairpin, where we've seen lots of drama already.
And again, Marks 130 will hold on to that second place position. He knows he's got to have to catch Christie and get around if he wants to have any shot here at the championship. Remember, he came in here 44 points back of the keen Ontario rider, Jody Christie.
And you got to hand it to Marks, his first appearance at Shannonville. He is contending for the win. He's running up front against guys who know this track, who've done lots of club racing here. That's quite an accomplishment, but like you said, Pat, that's not going to be enough to snatch the title. And here we go once again, Grand really pouring on the pressure in third.
They work off of that final right-hand turn on the start-finish straightaway as they come back to the line, and just a couple of bike lengths between these two Suzuki riders as Christie, number 14, continues to run out in front and appears to be on his way to this Armor Bodies Amateur 600 Sport Bike Championship.
You can see that little bumpy crossover between two sections of track, and Mark Spike doesn't like that at all. It gives Grond another chance to catch up, and look at him. He's trying everything. He really wants to push the pace.
Marks in that second place spot, leaves the opening, and again, the two riders just about got together there in the hairpin. They're taking completely different lines, and here comes Grond trying to pick up the draft on that second place Suzuki of Patrick Marks, but Marks is very good on the brakes at the end of the back straight.
Two ginormous near misses so far at the hairpin, and these guys really have to sort their way out. Stop trying to, well, these guys, Grond has to calm down a little bit because there is a move. He seems to have the pace to make it into second, but it's not going to work by T-boning his opposition.
Patrick Marks, who began his racing career in France, racing 125s and 250s, retired for a number of years, but his racing career relaunched this year here in Canada, and he has certainly been one of the discoveries of this Armor Bodies Amateur 600 Sport Bike Championship. Right now, we're looking at a great battle for second.
Moving on through the race, and there is our leader, Christie, and he has shown tremendous pace throughout this event, doing what he needs to do at his home track in front of a very, very popular home crowd.
Christie, who has led from on, Christie goes down in the left-hander at turn number 2. The motorcycle goes end over end. It is severely damaged. He's going to try to pick it back up, but all of a sudden, that has handed the lead to Patrick Marks. Martin Grand now in second, and this battle for second now becomes the battle for the lead.
Here we go to the slow motion. Christie doing what he usually does, but look at how bumpy it is on this transition. I think he just pushed the pace a little bit much. He rolls it off those Pirelli DOT tires. Now what's remarkable here is the beating this motorcycle takes in the runoff. The question is, can Christie make this thing run? And there you can see he's got it up and running. Will it continue and do the rest of the laps, and can he get any points? We all have our calculators out to try and figure this one out, Pat.
Well, that is one bent and battered Yamaha Rd6. Christie from our lap charts being shown here in about 17th place. If Marks wins this race, Christie finishes in 17th, where he is right now. They would be tied on points. Christie has led more laps than anybody else here. That would give him 2 additional, and that might be the difference here for the championship. Here's your leader, Marks, on the final lap, working slower traffic as he heads up to turn number 2. Grond, number 898, right there in second.
Grond cannot take the title, but he can definitely play the role of spoiler. But into this heavy traffic, we're going to have some hairball action with half a lap to go.
That's 7:52. Stéphane Beaupré in 24th. Oh, Marks just about runs into him. Here is on the inside through the left-hander. Grond has grabbed the lead with a brave move. Here comes Marks back on the inside in the hairpin. Patrick Marks back out in front. Now they're side by side on the back straightaway. They're going to split Beaupré. Marks on the inside motions to Beaupré to move over. Here's Martin Grond. He'll go around the lap rider on the outside into turn 6. Just a few corners to go. Here is 14, Jody Christie in 17th. That should be enough to give him the championship because he has led the most laps, and he'll get 2 points for that. Into Allen's corner, 130, Patrick Marks, who won one of the rounds at Shubenacadie at our last stop in the championship, about to take his second win of the year. There's the checkered flag. Patrick Marks, your winner. Martin Grond will finish in second. Christie is your champion.
Looking at our results for the final round of Armor Bodies Amateur 600 Sport Bike, Marks takes the win in a hairball last lap over Grond. The man they call Cowboy, Carrier, is third, and Huffman completes the GSXR sweep at the top. Looking at the rest of the top 10, Lesieur is the top woman in 8th, and Kenny Reedman is a strong 10th in his first ever national start aboard a GSXR.
It's my first podium. I worked very hard. The weekend, it was good. The weather was good. All was good. I want to say a real special thanks to my mechanician, Yannick Chenet from Chenet Performance. Yannick, you are a wizard.
Probably the best season of my life. Lots of bad lucks, lots of just small things. It's not like an SV, but all summer I was watching the Olympic Games, and I realized that for those athletes who work 4 complete years and sometimes just by a paddle shot, they are fourth and they miss the podium. So I realized that you cannot always win, and the best rider is not only the winner. It's watching the games that I realized that. So yeah, I'm very happy about the season.
My first year here in Canada, and I arrived first race just for doing one race. Ended up in sixth race, I'm doing 5 podiums, 3 faster lap, 2 wins, and second in championship. So it's just unbelievable.
If you ever set out to win an amateur national championship, remember that every point counts. Christie leads the most laps. That gives him 2 points. That ekes out the title over Hard Charger Marks. Grande, Huffman, and Carrier complete the rest of the top 5. Ernie, Horwath, top female last year. Ellen Bogan and Shields from Unionville round out our top 10.
I had a lot of fun, and it was a great race. I was putting down a good pace, at least it felt like that. So it's a great accomplishment for this year, and it feels really good. It's just my whole backing of my family helped out so much this year, and it's a great feat. And next year I'm gonna be pro, and I don't know, we'll just see what happens.